Welcome to NBA basketball. I'm Damon Bruce, and we've got it for you here on 2K Sports. It's the NBA, it's the NBA, it's the NBA, and it must be Groundhog Day. It's going to be Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs up against Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tune back in later for the HP Halftime Report.
When the Groundhog isn't looking for his shadow, he likes to tune to 2K Sports. Glad to have you with us on this Groundhog Day. My favorite sports fans, this is Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. And the starting group for the Spurs, McDyess and Duncan, they're inside. Manu and Jefferson on the wings. And it's Parker in at the point guard. And for the Thunder, Durant, Ibaka, and Perkins compose the front court. Westbrook and Cephalosha in the backcourt.
Well, Oklahoma City is a team that has gotten better and better the last few years. And they continue to get better against the Western Conference, too. A 5-game improvement in their record versus the West a year ago from the season before.
And it's going to be the Spurs off the tip. Now the pass to McDyess. It's Ibaka picking him up. And McDyess backs in. Duncan left side. Just 5 to shoot. Takes a shot at the elbow. The shot misses. And the Thunder go the other way. And the Thunder tougher against the West. We talked about that 5-game improvement. But they match up well, it seems, Clark, with just about anybody in the Western Conference, and I'll even throw the East in there, too.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I like this team's versatility. When you look at the Thunder, they've got a lot of things. I mean, they've got size, strength, athleticism. And you need those ingredients if you're going to be a contender, and you have to be able to win different ways. And Oklahoma City is the kind of team that's growing into that. A well-rounded roster. They're young, so as they get more seasoning, they're going to be a really difficult team to handle for a long time.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Scott Brooks. When I asked him where they might have an advantage today, he said, we've got the shot blockers to make things very hard on them when they bring it into the paint. And that's what we plan to do. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Doris. So Clark and Steve, defense, it looks like, coming first for them today.
And while you don't really want to put all of your cookies in one jar, I mean, I think emphasis on defense is the way to go.
Yeah, I'd agree, because if you come out and establish the defense right away, it kind of sets the tone, and you really kind of take control of that game emotionally. And one thing that makes Westbrook so difficult to cover is his ability to shift gears on a defender. He blows by people, and you can't put a hand on him or it's a foul, so you've got to respect him, back off, and that's when he'll pull up and hit that mid-range jumper. Boy, surprised to see that one stay out.
Me too, Steve. I mean, those are ones that usually go down for sure.
Cephalosha kicks to Durant. Shot on the wing, and it's Perkins with the jam.
Tell you what, guys, you got to appreciate the way he goes after those offensive rebounds. It's something to watch.
And the strength, Steve, the strength he is on those putbacks is something to see.
Well, we got to witness both of those attributes right there on that play.
Getting back to what Steve was just saying about Westbrook and what you've talked about, that respect he gets for his drive certainly opens up a lot of jumpers.
It sure does, Kevin. I mean, you just can't play him straight up out on the perimeter because he's got such speed, he goes around you. His ball handling is good. It's a combination of the shooting and that blinding speed that gets him a lot of good shot opportunities.
Here's Parker. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. Ginobili left side to end the run. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Outside Westbrook. Cephalosha kicks to Durant. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That one on Ginobili.
How about Kevin Durant for Oklahoma City? So low maintenance. Signed that long-term extension with the Thunder. And doesn't mind playing in a smaller market. Just wants to play basketball and win games.
That's good from Durant. Steve, you mentioned Kevin Durant's extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder in a summer that saw all the fanfare around LeBron's decision, move to Miami. Durant's new contract, absolutely a low-key affair.
And that's his personality. The young fellas say, do you or be me. That's what you got to do. Not a big showman. That's not his nature. Loves the game, hangs out in the gym, homebody, works at it, gets home, gets off his feet. I mean, he's high performance, low maintenance. You love that.
A lot of good qualities.
Yeah.
And San Antonio calls the first time out of the game.
25-16 were the Spurs on the road last season, guys. That tied for the 5th best road record in the league.
Here's Parker. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Ginobili outside. Shot to end this cold run. Drops in the layup for 2. Here's Westbrook. It's a 3-point game.
Scott Brooks, winner of the 2010 Coach of the Year award. He and, of course, Kevin Durant have been a big reason why the Thunder have moved up the ladder to become one of the league's elite teams.
Harden dishes to Westbrook. 6 on the shot clock. Guarded now by Duncan. And here's Harden for 3. No good. Now San Antonio the other way. Back to Brooks for a second. It's been amazing to see him transform his team from what they were, Steve, to what they are now.
Well, every year they've taken steps forward. And now they're poised to become one of the elite teams in the league. It gets a lot tougher, though, from here on out. The honeymoon is over, and it's time for them to get to that elite level. And they've got to get better. They have to make some internal improvement.
The Thunder leading by 3. Perkins with it. A leaner. Again, Durant missing.
This just has not been his day so far.
Here's Neal. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili.
Well, every once in a while, he'll show us some pretty good moves around the hoop.
And here's Westbrook. Covered by Parker. Right up. And that one's good. Westbrook.
He always gets the ball in the right spot down there, Kevin, because he excels at doing his work early and establishing that position inside.
Parker passes to Ginobili. They double-team Ginobili. From deep three-point range, and Westbrook pulls it down. The Thunder with the lead. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Guarded now by Duncan. From about 16, Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Neal kicks to Ginobili. It's stolen by Ibaka. Goes up from the top of the key. And unable to corral the miss, and it goes out of play. He gets it up. Neal can't get it to go. Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. Thunder lead by 3.
A lot of hard work being put in on the glass. This is a very physical team. They're doing a nice job in the paint.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job gang rebounding too, Steve. Everybody's boxing out down there.
More great action when we return. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Here's Maynard. So with Durant sitting on the bench, this is who Scott Brooks has out there. Maynard and Harden man the backcourt. Nick Collison out there with Cephalosha. And it's Cook in at the 3. The 10-footer, that's good. Harden's got the first basket of the second quarter for the Thunder.
And Oklahoma City is really a team that's at its best when they get out in transition. In fact, a year ago, they averaged better than 16 fast break points a game. That was 6th in the league.
Bottom no good. The Thunder leading by 5. Maynard dishes to Cephalosha. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Harden. Connects from 13 feet out. Harden's got 4 this quarter. When you look at the Thunder as a fast-breaking team, one of the best in the NBA, they've certainly got the personnel for it.
Fast and athletic, Kevin, at positions 1 through 4. And Westbrook is really incredible as a force in the open court. He's got such a speed and power to him as a point guard. He may be the most angry and aggressive finisher in the NBA. I mean,
It's interesting.
I mean, he attacks that rim with force and ferocity that very few players do. And it may be that he has that scowl to go with it, but when he goes to the basket, I mean, he's coming to do damage and punish people.
A chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, one of the Spurs' keys to success is always having at least one three-point threat on the floor to spread it at all times. With a capable Tim Duncan down low, that certainly makes sense. He's a big man who can pass and make the right plays. As Greg Popovich says, the way the game is played now, you have to have somebody to spread the floor. Guys, it has worked in the past.
Thank you, Doris. With someone like Duncan, having a 3 threat on the floor is incredibly valuable.
Well, a lot of teams rely on a 3 specialist to spread the floor now.
Well, that's what San Antonio has tried to do for years. I mean, put 3-point shooters around Tim Duncan to give him the space he needs down on the block. So that's a huge help for him.
I tell you, the D was really lax there. I mean, they know he really struggles from that range.
The feed now to Neal. Blair backing down. To end the drought, it's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Really strong performance by them so far on the glass.
You know, the lead they have in the rebounding category is also part of the reason they're on top on the scoreboard as well.
Here is Cook. 7-point differential. Goes up on the wing. Good. Maynard's got his first points in this one.
And they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
The dish to McDyess. San Antonio again missing. Cook the pass to Cephalosha. Here's Maynard. It's stolen by Jefferson.
For the most part, they're doing a nice job of taking care of the ball, though.
Now Maynard. Kicks it to Harden. McDyess is there. Lock at 6. Now, here is Harden. Money on the 10-footer. And it's an 11-point Thunder lead.
He's finally starting to get it going here offensively.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Well, some missed opportunities offensively, and this is a good timeout. Let these guys get a blow, take a breather, get their legs back under them, and then refocus.
For the Thunder, Kendrick Perkins. He's checked in for Harden. Durant comes in for Daquan Cook. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Eric Maynard. San Antonio also making some changes. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Matt Bonner. Ginobili comes in for DeJuan Blair. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Gary Neal. Here's Parker, looking for his first bucket of the game. McDyess up top. 6 to shoot. Back to Parker. Westbrook with the steal.
Great steal in the paint. Thought he might get a layup out of it, and he wound up turning it over.
Cephalosha kicks to Westbrook. Passes it to Collison. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Boy, I like that finish. Perfect for that possession.
Yeah, the simple one-hand jam.
That's the way to do it, guys.
And here is Parker. McDyess, he's covered by Collison. A fadeaway. Out to Parker. Ginobili outside. Here's McDyess. One shot's good on the assist by Ginobili.
Yeah, he's so good from that mid-range area.
There's 37 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Westbrook with it. Durant for three. And McDyess pulls it down. Parker against Westbrook. Pulls it up. Drops it in from 12 feet. Here's Westbrook. Over Parker. Westbrook can't get it to go. Good if it goes. No good. And we finished one half of basketball. It's the Thunder. They lead by 9.
Don't you wish every day could be Groundhog Day? Don't you wish every day could be Groundhog Day? Don't you wish every... I'm just kidding. Welcome to the HB Halftime Show. Oklahoma City up on top against San Antonio. Their second unit making its impact felt offensively. They've come in ready to roll. The game's leading scorer, Kevin Durant. He's got 7 points, also added a couple of rebounds. And on the other side, San Antonio just keeps scrapping. They've dialed up the tempo, ripping and running. It's been a fun one to watch. Certainly an impressive start by Manu Ginobili. After 2, he's got 6 points and has set his teammates up with a few timely assists. We've seen these two pace their team so far in the first half. Let's see what they'll have in store for later. Thanks for tuning in here. Now we go back there. Kevin Harlan and the 2K Sports crew. The start of the third quarter.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. So here's Westbrook.
And, you know, the Spurs decided prior to the last season that their best chance to be successful was to go up-tempo. They knew they didn't have the inside play that they did in past years, so they played a very fast pace and used their three-point shooting to their advantage.
On the court for San Antonio, Parker and Manu are the backcourt. Jefferson and McDyess make up the forwards. And it's Duncan in at the center. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Gentlemen, Kevin Durant is definitely a gym rat. One of those guys who gets in early and goes home late. But outside of that, he describes himself as a homebody. I just relax, chill out, and play video games. I literally go to practice, come home, and sit in the same spot all day. I like it. It keeps me out of trouble and keeps me focused on what I need to do. And guys, when you work as hard as he does, you can see why a little R&R is just what the doctor ordered.
You know, you hear it all the time, Doris. Lead by example. He's a hard act to follow with his work ethic. Here's McDyess. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. 5 on the clock. With the clock winding down. Again, the Spurs good for 2. We talk about the Spurs game planning for the Lakers, Steve. I guess you want to spread the floor against that big front line of Los Angeles, and of course a major quickness advantage at the point guard for San Antonio.
Well, you try to play to your strengths, Kevin, and basically Tony Parker looked to attack in transition. I mean, even when the numbers were against him, he's so good at putting defenses on their heels. And the other players ran to the three-point line, and Parker got bottled up. He had a kick out. If the ball wasn't stopped, he slithered his way to the basket.
Ginobili with the three, and it's good on the assist by Parker. 9 points for Ginobili. Outside Westbrook. He's picked up by Parker. It's Durant on the wing, defended by Jefferson. Releases from the wing and drills it. Durant's got 11 points.
Now, Kevin Durant creates so much space for his shot. I thought at times he settled a little bit too much for long-range shots, and where he can make the most improvement is down on the block with a post game.
Now here's Parker. Westbrook picks him up. Parker dishes to Ginobili. Defended by Durant, and they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. James Harden, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. San Antonio also making some changes. Splitters checked in for McDyess, and Gary Neal subbed in for Richard Jefferson. The Thunder leading by 6. Here's Westbrook. He's picked up by Parker. Harden the pass to Ibaka. Backs him down with the fadeaway. And it's good. And the Thunder lead by 8. Speaking of Durant, Clark, and working in the post, do you think he's strong enough physically to be effective down there?
At this point in time, that's one area he needs to get better at. He needs to add more strength in terms of being a post player. If he's taller than the guy defending him, then I think he can be somewhat effective. But that's an area of growth for him. As he gets more aggressive and adds to that frame of his, then I think he can really be a difficult guy to defend in the low post. But he's not there yet.
Because, you know, the initial defense is going to be strong. And a lot of times with when you have somebody double, now you got 2 guys
That's
on
right.
that, and that's tough.
That's exactly right.
The shot is off.
Well, that's a big boy rebound there, corralling that one in traffic.
Parker kicks to Ginobili. Splitter. It's Ibaka picking him up. Backing him down is Duncan. It falls. Now it's just a 3-point Thunder lead.
You know, if their plan was to keep going inside a ton, it sure has paid off. I mean, it seems like every bucket they get is in the lane.
Well, no reason to take an outside shot if you're scoring at will from inside the paint.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
Well, you know, the Thunder have one heck of a home court advantage here in Oklahoma City. I mean, they don't call it Loud City for nothing.
Here's Westbrook. He's picked up by Parker. Bucket's good. Westbrook's got his second bucket of the night. 1:39 left to play in the third. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
Here's Ginobili. 12 points for him. From deep, Neal. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got 4 assists in the game.
What a player Manu Ginobili is, and he's gotten better and better as a passer. In the last couple of seasons, he's averaged almost 5 assists per game, and he's cut down on his turnovers as well.
Now here's Westbrook. It's hauled in by Ginobili.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
And he misses the go-ahead basket. And for Ginobili, a passer, a scorer, Steve, a defender, there's really nothing he doesn't do well. He's a student of the game, too. He and the coach, Greg Popovich of the Spurs, really seem to be of the same line.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And it wasn't always the case.
No.
They had to learn to work well with one another because Manu can go off into one of his creative binges, and sometimes that's a little uncomfortable for a coach. I think he's underrated as a defender, but there's no questioning whether he's one of the best shooting guards in the league. He has been for the last 5 or 6 years.
Shot clock at 6. With 1 on the clock. Westbrook can't get it to go. Parker with it. For the lead, he flies to the bucket and lays it in. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Westbrook cannot hit. And as we conclude the third quarter, what a game, neither team giving ground. It's been one outstanding game from Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, so far in this one, he's played a different role than normal, but he's done a nice job as this team's playmaker here today.
And all of it's worked for the most part. I mean, he might not be known as a dime dropper, but after this game, he will be.
Back in a moment from Oklahoma City. Fourth quarter getting going here. It's time for our Sprite Spark of the Game report. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, well, our spark of the game goes to the Spurs for that major surge. The changing point in this game was when they got hot in the third quarter and opened things up. They'll look to keep that level of play as we head into the final period.
Thanks, Doris. Clark, it was a scoring run that proved extremely important.
Yeah, Kevin, you know what? I think that's exactly when they grabbed this one by the throat, really seized control of it.
And you could see their energy just building as the game went on. And by the end of that run, they really took control of everything.
All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So for Oklahoma City right now, Westbrook and Harden in the backcourt. Durant is out there with Daquan Cook, and it's Collison in at the 5 down low. Here is Bonner, picked up by Collison. And Durant comes to help. Parker outside. From deep, the long distance 3 is buried. Parker's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Spurs. Outside Westbrook. Blair against Durant. From deep, Harden. Second chance shot, and it's Durant laying it in.
Well, they haven't been getting lit up from outside here. All the points they're giving up are from in close. They've got to offer more resistance.
Yeah, defense has to get better, Clark. They've got to body up, bump somebody, get physical, force the action back out to the perimeter.
Jefferson dishes to Blair. Picked up by Collison. The jump hook. Thunder with the rebound. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable. Russell Westbrook has proven to be one of the best point guards in the NBA. Not just his scoring, but his ability to push the ball in transition, and he's a good leader for his teammates as well.
The first one falls. Clark, what you said about leadership in Westbrook, that is a must-have quality to possess as a point guard in the NBA.
And Kevin, if you're going to lead a team into battle, especially the Western Conference, you need a battle-tested guard, and the Thunder have that in Westbrook, and he's continuing to grow. We forget how young this guy is. I mean, he's got a lot of room to grow. And I'm excited to see what he becomes as he matures because he's already got a lot in that backpack.
Well, there are a few players you talk about as enthusiastically as you talk about Westbrook.
I loved him from the first time I saw him in a practice at UCLA, Kevin. He was a freshman. He was going up against Darren Collison, and he was aggressive. He didn't back away. You could tell the edges were a little rough, but you always would rather have rough edges that can be smoothed out than no edges at all. He's got tremendous ability. I love watching him work.
Here is Cook. He's covered by Ginobili, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, guys, the Spurs played great basketball against their Western Conference foes. I mean, they went 38-14 against the West.
Steve, when you look at the Spurs' regular season dominance a season ago, what was the key in your mind?
I thought it was Greg Popovich's style. I mean, he decided to go away from that traditional inside-out game. They got much faster as a team. They played a higher pace. And Pop knew they had to take advantage of their scoring and to that they're no longer one of the most talented teams in the NBA.
And so he hits both.
Boy, it really had to be deflating for the Spurs after winning 61 games in the regular season to be bounced out of the playoffs by the Grizzlies in the first round. And it raised some interesting and difficult questions for them moving forward.
Here's Quinn. Into Blair. Deflected.
They really didn't have the room there to make that pass, guys.
To tie it up. And Westbrook with a nice bucket inside. And that ties it up. Going back, Clark, to that first-round upset, the second time an 8th seed has ever won in a 7-game series. And Spurs were thoroughly outplayed, Steve, by the Memphis Grizzlies. Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol. What a collection Grizzlies got by him.
Yeah, that didn't feel like an 8th seed, did it? I mean, Randolph and Gasol so dominant in the front court. And then I thought Memphis' defense was really good, too. But the Spurs, as well as they played the regular season, just didn't have it in the playoffs. I think they needed an infusion of some young talent there in San Antonio.
That is good.
Now, the defense just couldn't get a hand in his face, couldn't challenge the shot.
Yeah, made his height advantage count that time.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
This run, a definite concern. They've lost all momentum, and they need to try to sort this out right away.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He got on his players for their lack of commitment on defense away from the hoop, saying, listen, you've got to close out on their shooters. We can't just let them light us up from three-point territory.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for Perkins. Durant comes in for Nick Collison. James Harden, he's checked in for Daquan Cook. And it's Maynard in for Russell Westbrook. Now here's Ginobili. Shot clock at 5. Jefferson passing to Parker. Shoots over Maynard. The shot will not go. And the Thunder go the other way.
This game very well could come down to a few possessions, and if that's the case, rebounding could play large.
Yeah, in a close game like this one, securing the ball is so vital.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
You got to keep everybody on the same page. They need to get their heads together. That's the goal.
Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Nazir Muhammad. Antonio McDyess, he's checked in for the Spurs. Gary Neal comes in for Richard Jefferson. The first free throw is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Here's Parker. It's a 4-point ball game. Outside, Ginobili. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Perkins got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Durant for 3. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Parker. It's good from in time. Parker's got 5 points now this quarter.
You know, a recipe for disaster, Kevin, is letting him get that free near the basket.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. They're in front by 2. 1:52 left in the fourth. The Thunder making a switch here. Westbrook's checked in. .152 left in the fourth quarter. He's picked up by Parker. Parker against Westbrook. Gives him the lead pass. Perkins. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. San Antonio calls timeout. They're down by 4. 1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Parker. Westbrook picks him up. Ginobili outside. Ginobili draws the double. And here's Neal outside. Serge Ibaka with the rebound. Ibaka's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. The shot's good from Westbrook. Here's Ginobili. 1:10 left to play here in the fourth. He feeds it to Duncan. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili.
Great looking bounce pass to set up that play.
And 1:01 left in the fourth quarter. Easy shot. Rebound San Antonio. They've trailed by as many as 13 points. And it's Harden picking them up. Back to Ginobili. For the 3. Manu! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
So hard to stop Ginobili right now.
Now Westbrook. Six on the shot clock. Here's Durant. Dice grabs. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're behind by 1. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
No need to rush things, although I think you do want to get a shot off in time to the point where if you miss it, you got a shot at an offensive rebound.
Well, if you got a play in your quiver that gets you a good shot, one you've been saving all game, now's the time to use it.
And it's the Spurs with the ball. It's a one-point game. Ginobili outside. Duncan covered by Perkins. Perkins is whistled for reaching in. That is his first foul of the game. Five seconds left in the fourth quarter. Outside, Ginobili misses the tray. And they go to the intentional foul. Sinks the first one, and that'll put him up by 2. Gets them both, and it's a 3-point ball game.
Taking full advantage of the charity stripe here. Stretching that margin to 3.
So a close game sees Oklahoma City taking this one. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant.